Every single month, that electricity bill shows up at your door. You glance at the number, feel that familiar sting, and you pay it. No questions asked. But here's what nobody ever told you. What if your meter is lying to you? Not because it's broken, not because the power company made a mistake, but because of something built right into the system. Something that's been quietly draining your wallet for years and you had absolutely no idea. Here's what your utility company will never put in a brochure. Your meter is not measuring the electricity you actually use. It's measuring something called apparent power, and that number is always bigger than what you truly consume. Think about that for a second. You're being billed for electricity that never did a single thing for you. No light, no heat, no motion, nothing. So where does it go? Imagine filling a glass of water. The water that reaches your lips, that's real power. The electricity that runs your AC, charges your phone, powers your lights. But now imagine the foam that sits on top. You can see it. It takes up space in the glass, but you can't drink it. It does nothing for you. That foam is reactive power. It enters your home. It spins your meter. And then, without doing a single bit of useful work, it flows right back out to the grid. But your meter? It already counted it. You already paid for it. Every single month. This isn't small change. The average American household is losing somewhere between $225 and $234 every year. Not on electricity they used, but on this invisible, useless reactive power that slipped right through their home without lighting a single bulb. Over 5 years, that's over $100 gone. Silently, legally. And most people never even knew to ask why. Now here's where it gets interesting. Electrical engineers have known about this problem for decades. Power companies fix it at the industrial level all the time. For factories, for office buildings, for anyone wealthy enough to demand it. But for the average homeowner, they just let you keep paying. What if I told you there's a fix and it costs just $3? A simple passive device. No electrician, no complicated installation. Just plug it in and let physics do the rest. Sounds too good to be true? I know, I thought the same thing. That's exactly why we're going to tear it apart. The science, the math, and the truth. Right now. The city is still lit by gas lamps. The automobile hasn't been invented yet. And in a cramped electrical workshop, a 22-year-old nobody from Bath is about to stumble onto a discovery so significant and so inconvenient that the industry will spend the next 130 years making sure you never hear his name. His name was Sebastian Ziani de Ferranti, and he was about to change everything, whether the power companies liked it or not. Ferranti was obsessed with alternating current, the kind of electricity that flows back and forth in a wave dozens of times per second before it ever reaches your wall socket. Most engineers of his era saw AC as simply a delivery mechanism. Power goes in, power comes out. Simple. But Ferranti looked closer, and what he saw disturbed him. When electricity passed through motors, through transformers, through the coils and windings of real-world devices, something strange happened. The voltage and the current stopped moving together. Their peaks, the moments of maximum power, began to drift apart. He called it a phase shift, and he immediately understood what it meant. A portion of the electrical energy being pushed through the system was arriving out of sync. It couldn't be absorbed. It couldn't do work. It just bounced back like an echo, a useless, expensive echo. He documented it. He calculated it. And by the early 1890s, he had already engineered a solution, a capacitor-based correction device that could bring voltage and current back into alignment and eliminate the waste entirely. The technology worked. The math was bulletproof. And then, nothing happened. Here's where the story gets darker. In the early days, electricity was sold as a service. Power companies competed on reliability, on quality, on how well the light stayed on. Customers had leverage. Efficiency actually mattered. But then, something changed. Somewhere in the boardrooms of the late 19th and early 20th century, a quiet decision was made. Electricity would no longer be sold as a service. It would be sold by the unit. Enter the kilowatt-hour meter. A device designed, patented, and deployed specifically to measure consumption and generate invoices. And here's the detail that should make your blood run cold. These meters were engineered deliberately precisely to register apparent power, not real power, not the electricity you actually used, but the full, bloated, reactive power included number. They knew about the phase shift. They knew about the waste. Ferranti had already told them. They built the meters anyway, because reactive power that you can't use is still reactive power they can bill you for. Large industrial customers, factories, hospitals, universities, they figured it out eventually. They hired electrical engineers, installed power factor correction banks, and negotiated their bills down significantly. The knowledge was never secret at that level. But for the residential customer, for the family in the suburb, the apartment renter, the small shop owner, the solution was never offered, never advertised, never explained. For 130 years, the The fix that Ferranti discovered in the 1890s remained locked inside electrical engineering textbooks, technically available to anyone who knew what to look for, but practically invisible to everyone who didn't. Not because the technology was complicated, not because it was expensive to produce, but because an informed residential customer is a less profitable residential customer. Ferranti's discovery wasn't buried in a secret vault. It wasn't classified by a government. It was hidden in the most effective way possible. It was simply never mentioned. No utility company ever called you to say, hey, a portion of your bill is for electricity that did nothing for you. Here's how to fix it. They didn't lie outright. They just let the silence do the work. For 130 years, the meter kept spinning. The bills kept coming. And the phase shift, that invisible gap between the power sent and the power used, kept costing ordinary families hundreds of dollars a year. Every great conspiracy has a motive. And in this story, the motive isn't ideology. It isn't politics. It isn't even malice in the traditional sense. It's quarterly earnings. Because when you do the math on reactive power, when you sit down and calculate exactly how much money flows from residential customers to utility companies for electricity that never did a single thing, the number that emerges isn't shocking. It's criminal.